Christopher Lee was one of the most iconic actors in film history, known for his deep voice-towering height, commanding presence, and unforgettable performances. He appeared in more than 250 films during a career that spanned over 7 decades. Christopher Frank Carandini Lee was born in London. Before becoming an actor, he served in the Royal Air Force during World War II. His wartime experiences remained largely private, but they contributed to the discipline and confidence that later defined his acting career. Christopher Lee became internationally famous for portraying Count Dracula in the horror classic Dracula. His portrayal transformed Dracula from a traditional Gothic monster into a charismatic, terrifying, and sophisticated villain. He played Dracula multiple times and became one of the most recognizable horror stars of all time. Lee worked extensively with Hammer Film Productions and starred in numerous horror films including The Curse of Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Devil Rides Out. These films helped establish him as a horror icon and earned him a devoted global fan base. Although many remember him for horror roles, Christopher Lee was an incredibly versatile performer. He appeared in adventure films, historical dramas, fantasy epics, and action movies. A new generation discovered Lee through The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. As Saruman, he delivered one of the greatest villain performances in fantasy cinema. Interestingly, Lee was the only cast member who had personally met J.R.R. Tolkien. Lee also starred as Count Dooku in Star Wars Episode Attack of the Clones, Star Wars Episode Revenge of the Sith. His elegant and powerful performance made Count Dooku one of the most respected villains in the Star Wars universe. Many people are surprised to learn that Christopher Lee was also a singer. In his later years, he recorded symphonic metal albums and released several songs inspired by history and fantasy. Even in his 80s and 90s, he continued recording music, proving that creativity has no age limit. Lee received numerous honors throughout his life, including being knighted by Queen Elizabeth II for his contributions to drama and charity. He became known as Sir Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee passed away at the age of 93. His legacy remains extraordinary because he appeared in over 250 films, became the definitive Dracula for generations, starred in both the Lord of the Rings and Star Wars franchises, worked successfully across 7 decades, inspired countless actors with his dedication and professionalism. Christopher Lee is remembered not just as a great actor, but as a true cinematic legend whose influence continues to inspire audiences around the world. Why Christopher Lee is a legend. Few actors have mastered horror, fantasy, action, and drama with such authority. From Dracula to Saruman to Count Dooku, Christopher Lee proved that legends never die.